Hello everyone. For today, we'll discuss a brand new chapter. Chapter 8, Separate Financial Statements. So our learning objective, number 1, is state the applicability of PAS 27. Second, describe the measurement basis allowed under PAS 27. So PAS 27 prescribes the accounting and disclosure requirements for investment in subsidiaries, associates, and joint ventures when an entity prepares separate financial statements. Diba? Pag sinabi nating separate financial statement, these are financial statement that is being prepared separately by the parent and its subsidiaries or other entities. 'Di ba? Kasi kung 'pag sinabi nating consolidated, magkasama yung financial statement ni parent and then si subsidiary. Pero dito, separate yung kanilang financial statement. Meron silang kanya-kanyang financial statement. Kaya tinawag na separate financial statement. And under the standard of PAS 27, it does not mandate, no? Ibig sabihin, hindi niya nire-require kung sinong entities should produce separate financial statements. And PAS 27 is applied when an entity chooses or is required by law to present separate financial statements that comply with PFRS. Ibig sabihin, ina-apply lang siya kung option, kung pinili ng entity na yon or ni-required siya ng law na mag-present ng separate financial statement. Separate financial statements are those presented in addition, take note, in addition to Conso FS. Ibig sabihin, aside from the consolidated financial statement, nagpe-present din tayo ng separate financial statement in addition also to financial statements of an investor that does not have an investments in subsidiaries but has investment in associates or joint ventures that are required by PAS 28 to be accounted for using the equity method. The financial statements of an entity does not have an investment in subsidiary, associate, or joint venture are not separate financial statements. Entities exempted from preparing consolidated financial statements may present separate financial statements as their only financial statement. Ibig sabihin, kung exempted ka sa pag-prepare ng Conso FS, so ang nire-require lang sa'yo, ibig sabihin, yung separate financial statements as their only financial statement. In preparation of separate financial statements, it is prepared in accordance with all applicable financial reporting framework or PFRS. 'Di ba? Like in audit, 'di ba? Lahat ng FS natin is or should be in accordance with applicable financial reporting framework, particularly GAAP or yung ating tinatawag na PFRS here in the Philippines. Except that for investment in subsidiaries, associates, or joint ventures, ito yung ginagamit nating mga standards or it is accounted for at cost in accordance with PFRS 9 or using the equity method under PAS 28. No? So, tatlo yung ating measurement dito when it comes to investment in ASOC, subsidiaries, or joint ventures. Measured siya at cost, the investment is subsequently measured at cost less accumulated impairment losses. And then dividends are recognized in profit or loss when the entity's right to receive the dividends is established. Kapag measure naman siya at fair value, the investment is subsequently measured at fair value. And any changes in fair value will be recognized sa profit or loss if FBPL siya or sa OCI if FBOCI. And dividends are recognized in profit or loss then when the entity's right to receive the dividends is established. And kapag equity method, okay, it is adjusted for the investor's share in the changes in equity. Ano ba yung mga nasa equity? Di ba? Andyan yung retained earnings, di ba? Dividends. But since equity method siya, di ba? Alam naman natin kapag dating ng equity, ang dividends are treated as reduction in the computation of the carrying amount of the investment. Kasi nga, pag nagkaroon ng dividends is nagkaroon na ng declaration ng dividends, nababawasan yung ating retained earnings, nababawasan yung ating equity. And then, for PFRS versus full PFRS versus PFRS for SME or SE, and then for PFRS for SE, the provision of SME and SE are similar to those of past 27. However, under PFRS per SE, investment in subsidiaries in the separate financial statements are accounted for either at cost or using the equity method. Ibig sabihin, pagdating ng ah, small entities, hindi available yung option na fair value. Now, let's apply it to the problem illustration. So, ang hinahanap dito is carrying amount of the investment in subsidiary in the 20x1 Conso FS, carrying amount of investment in subsidiary and associate in the separate financial statement, and the net investment income recognized in the separate financial statements for each of the investment. So let's read the problem. ABC Company had the following investment transactions during 20x1. Acquired 80% interest in XYZ Inc. for 1 million on January 1, 20x1. XYZ reported profit of 10 million and declared dividends of 300,000 during 20x1. The fair value of the investment on December 31, 20x1 is 1.2 million. Acquired 20% interest in Alphabet Company for 100,000 on July 1, 20x1. Transaction cost incurred amounting to 20,000. Alphabet's reported profit of 2 million for the 6 months ended December 31, 20x1 and declared year-end dividends of 200,000. The fair value of the investment on December 31, 20x1 is 105,000. ABC's policy to measure investment in subsidiaries at cost and investment in ASOC at FBPL in the separate financial statement. Okay, so letter A, carrying amount of the investment in subsidiary in the 20x1 Conso FS. Okay, so ang sagot natin sa letter A, since investment in subsidiary yung tinatanong natin and Conso FS siya, the answer would be 0 or none because the investment in subsidiary is eliminated and it is not presented in the consolidated financial statement. For letter B, carrying amount of the investment in subsidiary and associate in 20x1 separate financial statement. So, the carrying amount, ano bang sinabi dito? Pagdating ng investment in associate, measured daw siya at fair value through profit or loss. So, since fair value through profit or loss, ang ating associate, ibig sabihin, it will be measured at fair value. Okay? So, tingnan natin dito, base dito, ano ba yung investment in associate natin? I-recall natin. Diba kung ating titignan, if 20% to 50%, meron tayong significant influence. Significant influence. Ibig sabihin, meron tayong investment in associate dyan. Investment in associate. ASOC. Pero kapag 50% or more, or 51% pala, sorry, mayroon ng control. Diba? 51% or more, meron ng control. And that is accounted for as investment in subsidiary. Here, ang tinatanong is, ito muna, associate. So, si associate, based daw dito, fair value siya. So, ang associate dito is yung 20%. So, measured siya at fair value through profit or loss. Ibig sabihin, i-measure siya at fair value. Ang kanyang measurement, pagdating ng December 31, 20x1 is 105,000. Kaya ang sagot natin dito is 105,000. And then, for investment in subsidiary, okay, ang sabi dito, pag sinabing subsidiary, measured siya at cost. So, dito, 80%, ibig sabihin subsidiary yan. So, magkano ba ang cost? Yung ating transaction price, which is equal to 1 million, I think. 1 million. Yan, 1 million. Ito, yung ating cost. 1 million. So, 1 million yung ating sagot dito. Letter C, requirement is investment income in separate financial statements. So, pagdating ng investment in subsidiary, since measured siya at cost, gagamitin natin yung cost, ito. So, cost less accumulated impairment losses and any dividends is recognized in profit or loss. So, ang ating dividend revenue, pagdating dito sa ating subsidiary is, magkano? 300,000, di ba? Declared dividends of 300,000. So the answer here is 300,000 but only 80%, 'di ba? Ang ina-account natin. Kaya 240,000. Pagdating naman ng investment in associate, since measured siya at fair value, yung dividends na 200,000, tignan natin, 200,000 multiply by 20%, 40,000. And since measured siya at fair value, 'di ba meron tayong fair value changes. Magkano yung fair value changes? Ito. 'Di ba 105,000 nung December 31, 105,000. Pero kailan ba siya nag-start? Ito, 100,000 siya nung July 1, 20x1. So, ibig sabihin, merong fair value changes na 5,000 kasi tumaas yung value niya from 100,000 naging 105. So, meron tayong 5,000 increase. And yung ating transaction cost is expense immediately minus 20,000. So, the answer would be the net investment income is 40,000 plus 5,000 minus 20,000. The answer is net investment income 25,000. Okay? Tingnan natin dito. Okay. Okay, next. I think that would be the end of our discussion pala. Tapos na. Pagdating ng ating separate financial statement. So, thank you for watching this video lecture. And please watch out for the activity that will be given on the Google Classroom. Okay. So, thank you for listening and see you in the next video lecture.